My beloved, listen closely. That persistent feeling you have is not paranoia. It is not your imagination crafting stories of significance. It is your spirit, finely tuned by my hand, picking up a spiritual frequency that your mind struggles to interpret. You feel the eyes upon you, in the meeting room, in the social gathering, even in the quiet solitude of a public space. You sense the weight of observation, the unspoken scrutiny. You have asked yourself, why are they watching me? What do they want from me? Today I pull back the veil. The attention you receive is not about your personality, your appearance, or your achievements. It is a spiritual phenomenon, a reaction to the destiny I have placed within you. They are not watching a person. They are witnessing a prophecy in motion. Understand this foundational truth. You carry a spiritual signature that disrupts the ordinary. Just as a magnet invisibly rearranges iron filings, your presence, anchored in me, rearranges the spiritual atmosphere around you. People may not know my name, but their spirits recognize my imprint. You are a living symbol of a reality they have ignored, a walking reminder of a king they have not acknowledged. This creates a subconscious fascination, a pulling of their spiritual attention. They watch because something deep within them is trying to reconcile the world they know with the kingdom you represent. Your every move is a data point in their unresolved spiritual equation. This attention often manifests first as a subtle study. They note how you react under pressure. They monitor your emotional responses to crisis and to blessing. They catalog your words, your silences, your choices. To you it may feel invasive, as if you are living under a microscope. But see it from the heavens' perspective. You are on display, not for judgment, but for demonstration. I have placed you as a living epistle, to be known and read by all. Your life is a classroom, and even those who do not realize it are students. Your patience teaches, your joy instructs, your endurance preaches. Their watching is the first step toward their learning, even if their current intention is far from holy. There is another, more unsettling layer to this gaze, the surveillance of opposition. The enemy also watches you. He studies your patterns, your weaknesses, your moments of weariness. He notes what triggers you, what discourages you, what makes you doubt your calling. He sends his agents, sometimes unaware people, sometimes oppressive spiritual forces, to observe and report. This is why the attention can sometimes feel heavy, draining, or accusatory. It is a spiritual reconnaissance mission. But hear me, my precious one. This too I allow. For in their watching they are also witnessing my faithfulness. They are gathering evidence of my sustaining grace in your life, and they will find no legitimate cause for accusation against a soul hidden in me. You must reframe this experience in your heart. Do not receive the weight of observation as a burden of performance. Receive it as a confirmation of your assignment. Light attracts attention, both from those seeking warmth and from creatures who prefer the dark. The fact that you are being watched is empirical proof that your light is shining. If you were fully blended into the world's shadow, you would be invisible. Your visibility is a symptom of your distinctiveness. So today, I call you to a shift in consciousness. When you feel the eyes upon you, do not shrink inward with insecurity. Do not flare outward with defensiveness. Instead, turn upward with acknowledgement. Let your internal dialogue be a quiet prayer. I see them watching. I commit this moment to you. Let them see you in me. Your calm awareness under observation is a powerful spiritual weapon. It disarms the enemy's tactic of making you self-conscious and steals the pressure he tries to impose. Do you recognize this dynamic? Has this naming brought a strange relief to your soul? If so, acknowledge the truth. Step out of confusion and into clarity. Speak this declaration over your spirit now. The attention confirms my light. My beloved, now we must delve into the heart of why the watching happens. It is not random curiosity. It is a spirit-deep response to a specific power you carry, often without realizing its full effect. The attention you draw is a spiritual symptom, and every symptom has a root cause. Within you resides a force that challenges the invisible hierarchies of this world, a quiet authority that unsettles the established order of fallen realms. They watch because they are trying to understand a power they cannot categorize, a presence that operates by a different set of rules. The primary reason for their fixation is your carried authority. This has nothing to do with your title, your wealth, or your social influence. It is the inherent weight of glory that comes from a life submitted to my will. You move with the confidence of one who knows they are sent, even if you do not yet see the full destination. This unshakable sense of purpose emits a spiritual frequency of command. In the unseen realm, your life sounds like a clear, firm directive. This disturbs the spiritual forces that hold territory through chaos and intimidation. They watch you to discern the source of this authority, to see if it is a bluff they can call or a reality they must flee from. Human souls, entangled with these forces, feel this disturbance and are subconsciously drawn to monitor its source, you. They are also watching for the source of your sustenance. The world operates on an economy of lack. There is never enough approval, never enough security, never enough power. People are perpetually striving, performing, and consuming to fill an inner void. Then they see you. You are not striving like them. You are not panicking in lack. You are not crumbling under the same pressures. You seem to be drawing peace, joy, and provision from a hidden well. This baffles them. Their watching is an attempt to uncover your secret. They look for your connections, your strategies, your methods. They will scrutinize your habits, your routines, your associations, trying to reverse engineer your inner peace. They do not yet understand that the well is not a method, but a person. They are watching a miracle, a human being sustained by invisible manna, and they are trying to find the breadcrumbs, not realizing the bread of life is within you. Furthermore, they watch because of your disruptive authenticity. In a world of curated personas and strategic masks, your genuine self is a disruptive force. You are not easily manipulated by flattery or intimidation. You cannot be predictably categorized as driven by greed, lust for power, or hunger for fame. Your motives are mixed with my spirit, making them opaque to worldly analysis. This makes you unpredictable and therefore, to a controlling spirit, threatening. The enemy's kingdoms operate on predictable patterns of sin and reaction. Your freedom to respond with love instead of hatred, with peace instead of anxiety, with forgiveness instead of vengeance, breaks their algorithms. They watch you closely, gathering data, trying to find a pattern of the flesh they can exploit, and when they find it less and less, their watching intensifies into frustration. There is also the element of prophetic resonance. Your life is not just your own. It echoes the footsteps of my Son. In ways you may not see, your journey mirrors aspects of His. The rejection, the faithfulness in obscurity, the unjust accusations, the quiet power. Spiritually sensitive individuals, even those not fully surrendered to me, sense this echo. It stirs a deep, often unsettling memory within them. It reminds them of a story they have heard, a truth they have ignored, a call they have resisted. They watch you because on some level, you remind them of me. This is perhaps the most profound reason for the attention. You are a living memory of God to a forgetful world. Their gaze is a mixture of longing, resentment, and holy curiosity. My precious one, see the grandeur of this. You are not being watched because you are lacking, but because you are carrying a fullness that interrogates the emptiness around you. The scrutiny is a testament to the substantive reality of your spiritual life. A shadow is not examined, a light is. A whisper is not tracked, a clear voice is. Let this truth fortify you. When you feel the weight of eyes, remember, It is because you carry a weight of glory. It is because you are nourished by an invisible source. It is because you are free in a world of bondage. It is because you look like family to a homesick creation. Does this understanding lift the burden of feeling inspected and replace it with a sense of solemn purpose? If it does, then let your spirit agree. Speak this truth into your current reality. I am watched because I carry what they need. My beloved, now we bring this truth into the plain light of your daily walk. How does this spiritual watching manifest in the tangible world? It is not a vague, ethereal concept. It materializes in specific, repeatable behaviors and social dynamics that you have likely noted, but lack the language to decode. These are the fingerprints of the unseen gaze upon your visible life. Recognizing them is crucial, for it turns confusion into clarity and perceived persecution into understood spiritual engagement. You will first notice the strategy of silent measurement. Conversations around you will subtly pivot to draw out your position, your resources, or your loyalties. People will ask questions that seem innocuous, but are designed to gauge your strength, your knowledge, or your vulnerability. What would you do if? Who do you think is right about? Do you have a plan for? They are not merely making conversation. They are taking measurements. They are trying to map the boundaries of your influence, the depth of your wisdom, the limits of your patience. In meetings, your silence will be noted more than others' chatter. Your calm will be measured against the room's anxiety. Your every contribution will be weighed on a scale you cannot see. Understand this. They are assessing the territory of your spirit, scouting for weak points in your peace, for gaps in your faith. Then comes the phenomenon of mirrored reactions. Watch how people reflect your energy back to you in distorted ways. If you enter a room with genuine joy, someone may respond with sarcastic humor or exaggerated hollow cheer. If you bring a sober, focused peace, others may become unnervingly frivolous or artificially tense. This is not coincidence. It is the flesh and the opposing spirit trying to calibrate a response to the unfamiliar frequency you emit. They cannot match it, so they mimic a caricature of it, or they oppose it with its perceived opposite. They are watching to see how you react to their distorted reflection of your own light. Will you get offended? Will you engage in debate? Will you dim your own joy to match their cynicism? Their behavior is a test, and your consistent, loving nonconformity is the answer. Another clear sign is selective engagement and withdrawal. You will be warmly included in moments where you can provide something, wisdom, labor, encouragement, and then coolly distanced once that provision has been given. The connection will feel transactional because, at a spiritual level, it is an extraction attempt. They are watching to see what they can draw from your well. When they perceive the well is deep and not easily drained, or when they realize the water is holy and demands a change in them to drink, they often withdraw. Their watching turns from curiosity to caution. You may find yourself suddenly on the periphery of conversations you were once central to, not because of anything you did wrong, but because your consistent light became inconvenient to their chosen shadows. Pay attention to the language of borrowed attribution. Your ideas, spoken in one setting, will reappear in another setting from someone else's mouth, presented as their own. Your solutions will be implemented without credit. Your unique phrases will be adopted by others. This is more than plagiarism. It is spiritual mimicry. They are watching your creativity, your problem solving, your anointed speech because they are trying to possess the fruit without being connected to the root. They want the power of your insight without the relationship with me that birthed it. It is a form of flattery that carries the sting of theft, but see it as proof that what flows from you is desirable and potent. Finally, be aware of the burden of projected expectation. Because they sense an authority on your life, they will project onto you the responsibility to solve problems I have not assigned you, to carry emotions that are not yours to bear, to have answers to questions I have not given you revelation for. Their watching is coupled with a silent demand. Perform. Fix this. Explain that. Carry us. This burden can be heaviest from those closest to you. You must discern, my precious one, between my yoke, which is easy and light, and the yoke of others' expectations, which is heavy and ill-fitting. Their gaze often carries this unspoken weight. My child, these manifestations are not evidence that you are flawed or failing. They are evidence that you are effective. The enemy does not deploy strategies against empty targets. The world does not scrutinize what it deems irrelevant. Your life is a significant spiritual event, and these social dynamics are merely the surface tremors of a deeper engagement. When you recognize these patterns, do not become cynical or closed. Become prayerful and wise. See the people, but discern the spirit. Your calling is not to stop being watched, but to ensure that what they see, through all these filters, remains steadfastly, compassionately, and authentically me and you. Does this naming of the patterns bring a profound sense of understanding to your past experiences? If it does, let your spirit settle in this discernment. Speak this declaration of clarity. I see the patterns. I walk in wisdom. My beloved, we have named the manifestations. Now we must address the core of the matter, your response. How do you live, move, and breathe under this constant, often unnerving spiritual attention? The temptation will be to alter yourself, to shrink, to perform, to explain, or to retaliate. But I call you to a higher path, the path of sanctified indifference. This is not apathy. It is a focused, deliberate choice to be governed solely by my gaze, making the watching of others a matter of secondary, neutral consequence. Your freedom lies not in escaping their eyes, but in being utterly captivated by mine. Your first and most powerful stance is the posture of inward retreat. When you feel the weight of observation becoming a pressure to perform, you must consciously and instantly retreat into the inner chamber of your spirit, where I dwell. This is a split-second spiritual maneuver. While your body remains present, your heart turns its full attention to me. You whisper, Father, I am here with you. In that moment, you withdraw your dependency from their approval and your fear from their judgment. You place your sense of self back into the safety of my affirming presence. This inward retreat makes you impervious to the external gaze. They may watch the vessel, but you are hidden in the captain. This is your secret place, accessible at any moment. From this place of retreat, you exercise the discipline of calibrated transparency. You are not called to be a closed book, shrouded in suspicious secrecy. Nor are you called to be an open scroll, revealing every wound and wonder to predatory eyes. You are called to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. This means your transparency is calibrated by my spirit. You share what edifies. You withhold what is sacred or would be trampled. You answer questions with truth, but not always with all the truth. You let your yes be yes and your no be no, without lengthy justifications meant to manage their perceptions. Your words become fewer, but carry more weight. Your openness becomes a choice, not a compulsion. You control the narrative because you are anchored in the author. Next, you must adopt the practice of blessing the watchers. This is your supernatural countermove. In the very moment you sense scrutiny turning into spiritual opposition, through jealousy, judgment, or coldness, you release a silent blessing upon them. Father, bless them. Meet them in their lack. Reveal your love to them. Do this genuinely, from the heart. This act of love does three things. It protects your own heart from the poison of bitterness. It disrupts the enemy's plan to create a cycle of reaction and conflict. And it unleashes my grace into the spiritual atmosphere around you. You become a conduit of blessing, even when you are the object of scrutiny. This confounds the powers of darkness and often softens the heart of the person being used. You must also cultivate the art of divine timing. Not every truth is to be revealed now. Not every assignment is to be executed in public view. A major reason they watch is to anticipate your next move, to co-opt it or counter it. I will often lead you to prepare in secret, to move in silence, to grow in hiddenness. Trust this process. When the time is right for me to elevate you, no amount of prior watching will have given them the blueprint, for I will do a new thing. Your patience frustrates the watchers. Your silent obedience to my timing keeps them off balance. Let them watch you wait. Let them see your peace in the pause. Their inability to predict you is a testament to your guidance by an unseen hand. Finally, anchor yourself in the identity of the sent one. You are not a stationary exhibit to be studied. You are a courier on a mission. Couriers do not stop at every post to debate their package or justify their route. They have a message from the king and a destination in mind. When you internalize that you are sent, the watchers become part of the landscape you pass through. Interesting, perhaps challenging, but not your focus. Your focus is the assignment. Your validation is the sender's approval upon delivery. This mindset turns scrutiny into mere scenery. You acknowledge it, you navigate it with wisdom, but you are not defined or deterred by it. My precious one, this is how you live free under the gaze of heaven and earth. You are not a prisoner of perception. You are a pilot, guided by a higher instrument panel. The watching of others becomes like weather on the windshield, noted, but not controlling your flight path. Let this practical wisdom seep into your daily walk. When you feel the eyes today, remember, retreat, calibrate, bless, wait. Remember your mission. This is the way of peace and power. Do you receive this strategy for your heart? Does it feel like a release from a cage? If so, affirm your commitment to walk this way. Speak this declaration of freedom. I am free under the gaze. My beloved, we now ascend to the summit of this revelation. The watching is not an endless trial. It is a preparatory stage with a glorious culmination. I am using the very attention fixed upon you, the scrutiny, the measurement, the silent opposition, to forge within you a quality that cannot be developed in obscurity. Unshakable, visible glory. The pressure of the gaze is creating the diamond. The constant observation is not meant to crush you, but to condense you, to purify your testimony until it becomes undeniable. You are being prepared for a moment of divine display. Understand this pivotal shift. The watchers are not your critics. They are your unwitnessing witnesses. They are gathering, often against their own intent, a body of evidence. They are documenting a case, not against you, but for my faithfulness. Every time they watch you endure hardship with grace, they are collecting data on my sustaining power. Every time they see you blessed without manipulation, they are recording evidence of my providence. Every time they observe you rise from a fall without bitterness, they are witnessing the reality of my redemption. They think they are watching you. I am ensuring they are witnessing me. Their persistent gaze is guaranteeing that when I move on your behalf, there will be a crowd of people who cannot deny that what happened to you was supernatural, for they have seen the entire process. This leads to the principle of the public vindication. There comes a divinely appointed moment when I will turn the tables. The very things they watched and judged, your patience as weakness, your integrity as naivety, your season of lack as failure, will become the platform for my glory. I will vindicate you openly. The promotion will come in the full view of those who measured you. The breakthrough will happen in the arena where they counted you out. The door will open before the eyes that once looked at you with pity or contempt. And in that moment, their years of watching will serve my purpose, for they will have no explanation but God. They will be forced to reconcile the man or woman they scrutinized with the victorious one standing before them. The long observation will make the sudden shift undeniably miraculous. Furthermore, the watching is preparing you for stewardship of influence. The ability to lead, to influence, to carry spiritual authority is not granted to those who are unknown. It is entrusted to those who have been tested in the furnace of visibility. Your character has been on display. Your reactions have been recorded. Your faithfulness in the small, watched things is the qualification for authority over much. The watching has been a grueling but necessary accreditation process. When I place you in a seat of influence, there will be a spiritual record, written in the atmosphere, of how you handled the weight of eyes. That record will either grant you gravitas or disqualify you. Because you have learned to abide in me under pressure, you will carry the influence with humility and stability, and the watchers from your past will become your first line of testimony to your fitness for the role. Finally, see the ultimate purpose. You are being made a sign and a wonder. The prophets of old were not just speakers, they were living symbols. Their lives were prophetic acts. You are being fashioned into the same. Your journey under the watching eyes is crafting you into a living signpost. People will look at your life, the scrutiny you endured, the peace you maintained, the victory that emerged, and they will not just hear a sermon, they will see a testimony. They will point to you and say, if God did that for them, in full view of all that opposition, then He can do it for me. Your life becomes a landmark of hope, a geographical marker on a spiritual map saying, God is faithful here. So, my precious one, do not dread the eyes. Do not pray only for them to be removed. Begin to pray for the grace to endure them with such radiant consistency that their very gaze becomes part of the testimony. You are not hiding from the spotlight. You are being polished by it. The audience is larger than you know, and the performance is not yours, but mine through you. The season of passive watching is transitioning into a season of active demonstration. They watch the preparation. Now, they will witness the purpose. Does this vision of culmination lift your head? Does it turn the burden into a sense of destiny? If so, align your spirit with the coming glory. Speak this declaration of anticipation. The watching is preparing my platform. My beloved, we have reached the end of this revelation and the beginning of your empowered walk. You now understand the spiritual reason for the attention, its manifestations, your response, and its glorious end. This knowledge is not merely for comfort, it is a weapon, a compass, and a crown. It is time to step forward, not as a target of scrutiny, but as a governor of your own spiritual atmosphere, fully aware that the eyes upon you are part of the landscape of your calling. From this day forward, let your awareness be transformed. When you feel the gaze, the silent measurement, the mirrored reaction, the weighted expectation, let your spirit smile with recognition. No more confusion, no more insecurity. Let your internal dialogue shift from, "Why are they looking at me?" to, "Ah, the light is doing its work. The presence is felt." This is the confidence of one who knows the script. You are not an actor surprised by the audience. You are a messenger who knows why the crowd is gathered. They are watching because they are hungry, because they are threatened, because they are curious, because they are being drawn by a force they do not understand. And that force is my spirit within you. Now I commission you with a final mandate. Carry the gaze with grace and convert it into testimony. Your life is no longer a private affair. It is a public declaration. Therefore, live with the holy consciousness that every move you make is a sermon. Every reaction you have is a lesson. Every silence you keep is a message. This is not a burden of performance, but a freedom of purpose. You are free from the need to manage perceptions because you are focused on representing a kingdom. Let them see the difference. Let them see the peace that puzzles them, the joy that confounds them, the love that disarms them, the integrity that challenges them. Do not explain it. Embody it. I send you back into your world, your workplace, your family, your social circles, as a conscious light bearer. Go back to the very rooms where you felt most watched, most analyzed, most misunderstood. But go back with this new truth emblazoned on your spirit. Your posture has changed. You are not a specimen under a microscope. You are a seed planted in a field, and the watchers are simply witnessing your inevitable growth toward the sun. The pressure is the soil that strengthens your roots. Remember, you are never alone under the gaze. I am with you. My angels encamp around you. The great cloud of witnesses cheers you on. The audience of heaven is captivated by your faithfulness. The earthly eyes are but a shadow of the divine attention that rests upon you with love and approval. Fix your eyes on that truth, and the stare of others will lose its power to intimidate. So walk forward. Let them watch. Let them take notes. Let them whisper. Let them wonder. Your assignment is not to stop them, but to outlive their doubts, outlast their schemes, and outlove their judgments. Your consistent, faithful, joyful life in me will be the final, unanswerable argument. The revelation is complete. The mystery has been solved. You now know why they watch your every move. Carry this knowledge as a shield and a standard. If you are ready to embrace this identity, to walk in this freedom, and to let your life be a public display of my glory, then let your spirit roar its agreement with the final, empowering declaration. Speak it with all the conviction I have placed within you. Let them watch. Amen. My beloved family, if this word has pierced the heart of your experience, if you have felt seen, understood, and empowered, realizing you are not paranoid but perceptive, not a target but a testimony, then you know this is more than a message. It is the gathering cry for a people who live under the holy gaze, who are learning to turn scrutiny into strength and observation into opportunity. You are not alone in this. There is a tribe here that understands. This revelation was for you, but its power is multiplied in community. It is for every sensitive spirit who has felt the weight of eyes, for every faithful heart that has wondered why their every step is monitored, for every warrior needing to know that the watchful eyes are part of the battle plan. And now, you have a role to play in strengthening this family. First, plant your flag here. If this place has been a sanctuary of clarity and a source of spiritual armor for you, do not let this be a passing moment. Click subscribe and turn on all notifications. By subscribing, you are declaring, "This truth fortifies me. This is where I get my orders clear." You are also extending this lifeline further. Every subscriber amplifies this signal, helping other watched ones find their way out of confusion and into their calling. Second, for those stirred to partner in this mission. If this ministry has been a guiding light, affirming your path and decoding your spiritual reality, and you feel led to support its work tangibly, you can do so through Super Chat during our live streams. Your support is a spiritual partnership. It says, "This message must reach the ones who are weary under the gaze." It enables us to create more content, secure platforms, and be a steady, clear voice for those navigating the pressure of visibility. Third, I invite you into the inner circle. For those who desire deeper fellowship, consistent teaching, and connection with others who live with this unique spiritual awareness, consider joining our channel membership. This is your dedicated space beyond the public word, a place for exclusive deep dive teachings, intimate prayer and Q&A sessions, and a private community of fellow watched ones who truly understand the journey. It is a haven for the set apart, a counsel for those on assignment. My precious watched family, the world needs your unwavering light now more than ever. And you need a community that sees you not as a spectacle, but as a sibling in the spirit, that strengthens your resolve and celebrates your steadfastness. Let us not bear the gaze in isolation any longer. Take your stand now. Subscribe to stay anchored and connected. Use Super Chat to sow into this work and have your voice lifted. Join the membership to come inside, find your tribe, and go deeper in your purpose. Click the join button below. Let's build this fortress for the watched ones together. Your presence here is by divine appointment. This is your tribe. This is your time. I am with you, I see you, and I am well pleased. Now go and live knowing you are watched by heaven. Amen.